Hello, Final Fantasy Randomizer viewers. I've had a good cry, and now we're gonna try this again. Try this game again. I don't think we need to grind or anything. I don't think we need to necessarily get better gear. I think we just got unlucky, because if you'll notice, our knight was not getting a large number of crits, which we would prefer him to have. So he was dealing, like, you know, a little bit of damage when, you know, if he'd been getting some crits, he would have been dealing, like, a few 100 points of damage instead of, like, you know, like 13, like 8 damage max. So I don't think we need to worry about anything like that. I think we just need to, actually we're gonna not use our nuke charges. We're gonna save those for bosses. Fade, though, I think we can go ahead and use. I just think we got unlucky, you know, and that just happens sometimes, so I think we can run right back in and give it a shot, especially, you know, if we continue in good spirits. And I forgot already the way around the map. Yeah, that was just some gold, so we don't need it. Let's run away. I think we'll just have to keep on playing. You know, the show must go on, the loot keeps on playing. And I forget the way everything is. I think level 25 is pretty good. It's pretty reasonable for beating the game. I don't think we need to... I've beaten the game with worse parties at lower levels, so I don't think we need to worry about that, although, you know, that was a bit unfortunate what we just saw there. That was also unfortunate because I was an idiot and cast Cure 4 on the wrong person, especially considering it's probably not even worth it given the amount of HP that our Black Mage has to use Cure 4 on him, but, oh well, mistakes are mistakes. We'll just restart the run if we die. I mean, it's happened all once already. So it's not like, you know, it's not like we're aiming for perfection here, right? We're aiming for a completed video series. That's all we're really going for. I'm not gonna pretend to be a master of this game. Fight, Magic, Fire 2... and Magic, Harm 3, or Harm 4, actually, because, I have that? No, I don't. I guess I didn't buy it. It must have been too expensive. Because Lich is an undead enemy, and therefore it takes, damage from harm spells, which is pretty neat. But not that it even mattered. Didn't even get a chance to do that. Lich, just, a little good for nothing. We have eliminated him successfully. And hopefully, we do not get eliminated on our way to deal with everyone else. Yeah, one of the reasons I would normally, or at least when I started with the randomizer, I would normally shorten the Temple of Fiends, because I figure, oh, well, you know, I've finished the game at this point. I kind of want to get through the bosses quickly. I don't want to trek through dungeons, you know, with all this resource management and possibility to screw up. But, you know, what you kind of realize is also I can use the wall spell in the Chaos Fight to hopefully live longer. You know, what I, realized later was that, you know, there's a certain level of tension in having to manage your resources through this arduous gauntlet that, you know, is kind of fun in and of itself, right? Because, yeah, it's inconvenient compared to just running right to the final boss. But, you know, like, every enemy in the game is inconvenient. The final boss is an inconvenience between you and the credits. So, you know, all because it's inconvenient doesn't mean that it isn't, you know, fun, or, you know, maybe not like you don't think of it as fun right away, but it contributes positively to the experience. It generates a strong feeling of, it generates tension, that's it. It generates tension to have to run through this twisting dungeon of horrible enemies and bosses that takes up your time, because if you die, you actually lose progress, you know? That's my problem with games that have, like, you know, no one-ups, and, you know, because, I mean, in many cases, yeah, one-ups are stupid and bad, right? But, like, a lot of people, they get rid of one-ups, but they don't, like, change level design to account for that. They forget that, you know, you're probably not going to be using, heal 2 in battle, so... They forget that, you know, part of the thing about lives is that they make it so that when you die enough, you actually, like, lose progress. And that is, you know, that sucks, right? It actually makes failure have, like, real consequences. As compared to, we'll use Fog too. As compared to, you know, games with no lives where, you know, depending on where the checkpoints are placed, the consequence for failure could be very light. So when people, you know, they get rid of extra lives, but they, you know, don't mess around with their checkpoints or nothing, they create these challenges where you just sort of, like, throw yourself at them, and then you, never lose. Which is, I mean, kinda dull. It sort of misses the point of having a game that, challenges you. We'll heal up while we're at it. I mean, hoping we don't kill him so we can get off that spell. It doesn't matter if we kill him, because we'll just get the spell off in the out of battle if we have to. And this should... no, not quite. Item, Cure 4 shirt on Shimp. And item, Fire 3 gauntlet, why not? 30-90, not much. But there we are. Yep. And, don't think we'll need much for Tiamat, although... you know, since you're not gonna be using Cure in battle, you might as well be using it out of battle to keep your support mages all nice and healthy. Fight, magic, fast on the night. That's a nice little poem we have right there. We'll use Fade because we're probably not going to want to go 7 rounds with Chaos no matter what. And once again, we use our fast on the dude after he attacks because we are, you know, we are very smart. We are master tacticians. And time at his ink, which is funny because it is weak and sucks. And that this should be the last round, if I'm right. Oh, God, that sucks. Oh, dear. Nuclear. That's bad. But we did kill her, as predicted. Just a bit... just a bit, you know, dangerous. But everyone's level 26 for the final boss, which is a reasonable amount. Magic. What have you got? Shimp. Can you please use Cure 4 on Mo? And... heal 3 on the party, even though that's a bad idea. I don't know. I don't deal in strictly bad ideas, but I don't deal strictly good ideas either. I use a mix of ideas, because I am but a mortal man, and God has ordained that we as mortal men should sometimes make bad decisions, and sometimes make good decisions, and sometimes need rescuing, and sometimes be fine. That's just how it is, and I'm gonna heal all the way, because I have nothing else I'm gonna do after this. No need to save potions when there's no more enemies. And, also, you know, you wouldn't want to be in a situation where you would have survived with 9 HP, but you didn't heal off the last 10. So this guy here, he's probably thinking, haha, my time loop plan is working perfectly, because these dudes, you know, they fought me before, but now they're fighting me again, losers. But, you know, little does he know that we are actually gonna win this time, right? Yeah, see, we got crits, and we deal, like, you know, 5 times more damage when we crit, so if we actually get crits this time, it'll be, you know, actually good. I think Wall only works for 1 turn, so I'm not gonna cast it right now. Oof, yeah. That's pretty big, though. Ouch. Fight. Cure 4 shirt. And Fade. And hope that we don't get schmacked around before then, because that would suck. There is no reviving in battle in Final Fantasy 1 for the NES, so if a character dies, they're out until the end of it. And on one hand, that's one of the things like tent saving, where I feel like the obstacle that you are provided makes... I should probably just start nuking with the Red Mage. The inconvenience makes situations more tense, because it's, you know... You're not free to just run at everything recklessly, because you will actually suffer consequences for your failure. I think we're doing significantly better though, fight, and I'm actually going to try using Nuke because it would probably work better. He has not used a ton of physical attacks, which is great because those are the ones that, like, really screw us up, since everyone but the knight will basically just get one shot. That's why knights are great, you know, especially when you have 2 knights in the front row, because then 75% of attacks are going towards guys who can actually survive them. Fight. Magic, Nuke. I think you did like 99 damage, so it's like, you know, why risk crits when you can just consistently get the same results with Nuke? Oh, the warp is not effective. Cannot banish enemies to another dimension. Let's just fire off another round of spells and like one dude slashing and see, just not getting them crits like he needs to. 155, lit 2. It's not super dangerous. I feel like the lit spells are not super effective. Like they're not nothing to be worried about. Actually, you can use Fade. Why am I attacking? I should have just used not fast. Just use that. Last nuke spell. You're out of Fade charges, which means it is probably time for you to use Wall on the Knight, I guess. I don't know. And I guess that worked. Right. There we go! We terminated him with the Fade use. That was all it took. Hooray, everybody! We have beaten the Final Fantasy Randomizer for like the 4th or 5th time. Well, we haven't, like, as a group, because this is the first time I've recorded it. It's the 4th or 5th time I've beaten it. And I can't say how many times you've been along for the Final Fantasy Randomizer journey with myself or somebody else. Maybe you've watched a future series that I've made, or you're re-watching this one, or you've watched, you know, one of Brick Road and Blue Ankylo's videos. Maybe you've seen the races that they do that I've never participated in. You know, I can't speak to where you are and when you are, but I can speak to where I am now. And now we get one of my favorite things. Hey, warriors, thanks for defeating chaos. Let's go for a burger. Ha, ha, ha. I love all the goofy dialogue that the randomizer adds to the game. It really does give it a lot of charm, as, you know, Final Fantasy 1 is already kind of goofy for, like, a fantasy game. You know, you compare it to AAA presentation of stuff nowadays, and the weird elves and stocky dwarves and, you know, running around feeding rubies to titans. You know, it's goofy, and that's why I love it. I like things that are a bit more, that don't take themselves so seriously, that let themselves be fun, you know. The Final Fantasy Randomizer is definitely something that, you know, I've not, like I said, I don't really go on Discord servers, I'm not involved with the Final Fantasy Randomizer community, but based just on the end product itself, I would say that it is probably made by people who had a lot of fun with it, and I certainly had a lot of fun with it, and hopefully you had a lot of fun with it too. I will put a link to it in the description, I guess, although it's not very hard to Google, but hey, you never know what Google is going to do, what evil they will perform in altering their search optimization algorithms or whatever, so that you can never find the webpage you want, you know? So I'll just provide the direct link, although it's not necessarily a more likely apocalyptic scenario than the Final Fantasy Randomizer changing web addresses, so whoops. I guess there's always vulnerabilities in life, you know. Sometimes you just get unlucky and chaos punches your party members into a bloody mist while you fail to get any crits. And sometimes you manage to blast him into eternal damnation with a bunch of Fade spells. It's just how the dice fall sometimes, and that's really the nature of a role-playing game. And what is Final Fantasy 1 if not just the NES version of a role-playing game, right? It's very clearly basically just a crappy Dungeons & Dragons campaign put in a digital format. Because you take 4 characters who are completely arbitrary, with no personal drama or investment in the story, throw them in, tell them to fetch a bunch of items, tell them to go kill goblins and fight big monsters, but instead of, you know, complaining on a forum about how much your GM sucks, it actually ends up being really fun, because, you know, Final Fantasy 1 is just a fun game. It's, well, at least the Final Fantasy Randomizer is a fun game. If I had to judge Final Fantasy 1 solely by the randomizer, I would say it's a fantastic experience, but as I've probably mentioned 3 or 4 times at this point, I have not beaten, like, the plain old vanilla game. But, hey, if you're interested in playing the plain old vanilla game, but would like something a little smoother, an experience more in line with the randomizer, then, you know, there's an option on the randomizer to just play the original game, but with some bug fixes and with the speed-up options and everything. So, it really does accommodate for any sort of playstyle of Final Fantasy 1 you might want to undertake. It's got tons of beautiful options, and you, viewers, are tons of beautiful people. And with that, I think we have finally completed another Let's Play series. This has been Let's Play Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. I've been the QuickSmasherEXE, and I hope you have had a good time, and I hope you have a blessed day.